Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
The Biden administration defending their handling of the Afghanistan withdrawal. Just one day after President Biden admitted the Taliban's takeover happened faster than anticipated. But a U.S. intelligence official telling ABC News leaders were told by the military it would take no time at all for the Taliban to take everything.
Yeah, you ignored them, Mr. President. Period. Case closed. It's a you thing. Again, I'm not arguing whether or not we should have been there. I don't think we should have. Again, I don't have all the briefings, neither do you. We don't know what the risks are in the region outside of what we see reported on the news, but obviously there's a lot more that goes into it than just that. But you failed. You failed. Let's be honest on this one. This one's on you. You can blame the Afghan military. You can blame everybody else, but this was a you call. Front page in the New York headlines. Everybody's contradicting Biden. Everybody. Everybody. The New York Times is coming after him. The LA Times. The establishment media that in many ways helped usher him into the presidency is calling BS, as they have every right to. Apparently, they've known for months how bad this was going to be. The spy agency said over the summer, hey, this is going to fall fast, really fast. The generals warned against it. Diplomats warned against it. But, Chad, we don't need to be there. Look, I don't think any of us thought we should have been there as long as we should have been. And part of that goes into we have these open-ended questions when it comes to what we get ourselves into. We asked questions and continually ask questions, knowing full well there wasn't really an answer that would satisfy everybody. And unfortunately, we live in a world where that's what we all try to do, is to satisfy everybody. Should we have been out of there sooner? This is Tulsi Gabbard talking about how many people feel.
After al-Qaeda terrorists attacked us on 9/11, our brave warriors, special forces, they quickly deployed to defeat al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. They accomplished their mission rapidly and effectively, and that is when they should have returned home. But the elite, they wanted to nation build, getting us into a 20-year war with no clear mission or strategy, causing massive suffering and wasting trillions of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah. We have no plan when we get into these things. We have no plan. We just kind of fumble about. And you've got the elites, obviously, who are funded in many ways. The military-industrial complex is a real thing. Halliburton, Raytheon, all of these companies, very much a real thing. Very much a real thing. The amount of money that went there, disappeared, ended up in other places is insane. The amount of lives lost, all for a nation we were never going to conquer because, quite frankly, it's not the nation it's not a nation. It is a group of tribes led by the Taliban right now, and we'll get to them in a second. But we had a failure here. We have egg on our face. And this president, this one's on you. It is on you solely. Getting out of there, like you said, I don't think anybody's going to argue that, look, we all want our men and women to come home. At some point in time, you got to say, all right, we're the way that this is going is not working. We're spending way too much money. It's time to bring some people home. We failed. We failed in doing that. We, by the way, upset some of our allies because the way that we yanked everybody out of there caught everybody off guard. And everybody knew what was going to happen. Now, you could have come out if you're him and say, look, when you're not the president and you don't get the view of everything and you get a snapshot of some stuff, plans change. We're going to have to leave X amount of people in there to make sure that there isn't a rise, again, of the Taliban and potential rise of foreign terrorist organizations that want to set up shop, turn it into a Club Med, and go there. At least you would have said something where people go, okay, I can at least get with that. Instead, it was, we're all getting out of here. Let's go. Pack your stuff. You got 5 minutes. We have thousands of Americans still there. And God knows how many people who helped us. No matter what the Taliban says, the kinder, gentler Taliban. No matter what they say, we knew what happened. And we've seen and heard the stories of how they've run through small tribal communities and cities to get to Kandahar and then to Kabul. So don't tell me this is the kinder, gentler. In front of the camera, they're much more media savvy than they were before. Because before, let's be real, they were back-assward, living in the 6th century. Now they're like, all right, we're gonna need a media department. We're gonna need people who are going to be in charge of the face of our movement. Everybody's going to be pissed, right? You know, all right, we got to be kinder, gentler. Did you see some of the stuff that's coming out of there? Surreal. They're on trampolines, but by the way, it's not just the Afghan army that can't do jumping jacks. They're on trampolines, and you're like, oh my God, this is going to go horribly wrong. They're on bumper cars, and they're in bumper cars, playing with the full outfits on. All of the stuff, right? Like and they've got their guns with them. Because I'm like, how is nobody dying? How is not one of these things firing off as they smash into each other? They got their Kalashnikovs. They're smashing into each other. It's surreal. They're at the gym. Somebody posted, don't skip leg day. Because you don't want to be top heavy. It looks weird. The kinder, gentler side of it, as they like to point out that they're going to be, always comes with a caveat. Take a listen.
What assurances can you give to women and girls that their rights will be protected?
Women will be afforded all their rights, whether it is in work or other activities, because women are a key part of society. And we are guaranteeing all their rights within the limits of Islam.
There it is. Within the limits of Islam. Within the limits of certain things. So, you're going to be afforded all of the rights of everybody else, but with one caveat. Within our interpretation of Islam, we will decide how far those rights go. And that's the big key right there. That's the little, it's like if you go and you make sure you read the fine print, because this is the fine print.
If they have concerns, we would like to assure them that there's not going to be any discrimination against women, but of course within the frameworks that we have. Our women are Muslim. They will also be happy to be living within our frameworks of Sharia.
Yeah. Some may be fine with that. But I can guarantee you there's a lot of women, especially a younger generation, who grew up not knowing what took place 20 years ago, who grew up not knowing what the oppression was about, who grew up not knowing what it was like not to get your hair cut, what it was like not to be able to do really anything. Yesterday, they were showing pictures, and I was watching Vice last night. And if you guys have never seen Vice, if you got it on your cable, check it out. It leans left. There's a lot of good stuff they do when it comes to just their straight-out reporting. They do a damn good job. And they're like, there's no women on the streets. There's very little women on the streets. I mean, very few. And some people that they were interviewing who went through the original, one woman, She's got 2 kids now, and she's terrified. And she says, look, I lived through the original. I couldn't go outside. Never seen a movie up until the Americans took over. Never saw television. I couldn't be anywhere near. I couldn't have my friends over, and they couldn't come to my house. We couldn't play. We couldn't fly a kite. We didn't learn how to read or write. It was for all of these things were within that. Within this, you better watch out. Otherwise, you're fine. If you want to stay inside a room all day and cover yourself up, you're fine. And they'll tell you, oh, we're going to treat you great. But the reality is, at that point in time, she said, we were property, and I don't want that for my kids. Who would? Who would? We're going to talk about not only the epic failure and the ignoring by the Biden administration of all of this stuff. We're also going to talk about the fact that there's about 100,000 Afghanis that helped us and that face retribution, even though they said, oh, we're not going to go after anybody who helped you. Do you really believe that? Do you honestly believe that? Do you? Yeah, I don't either. But the insanity of why they're not getting the opportunity to come here will blow your mind. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson shows your Twitter. A lot of stuff, too. Delta, booster. Do you really need a booster shot? I'm going to talk about that. Because they're recommending something, and I keep asking, okay, where's the science? Where's the science in that? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson shows your Twitter, tweet, text. Love hearing from each and every one of us. Raycon, best earbuds around. I was talking to my buddy Joe. He works here. He's like, Chad, I bought some of those. I'm like, dude, thank you very much. He goes, check this out. So I went on, buyraycon.com/Chad. And he goes, let me tell you about the thing that impressed me the most. He goes, the sound. He goes, you're right, man. I put on 3 different soft gel tips. You get 6. Fits perfect in your ear. He goes, he's an audiophile too. He's a production guy. He says, this is the best thing you'll ever have in your ear where you could go, I barely notice it. It's incredible. He goes, here's the thing I love. He goes, I can walk around the house. I can do a bunch of different things. I don't have to worry about being next to my phone. I said, that's what I love about Raycons as well. He goes, all that aside, I didn't know if I put your code in or not. I emailed them, and he goes, within like a minute or two, somebody really emailed me back. They called me. We got it all hooked up the right way, so that way I got your discount. And it was a live human being. I said, that's it, man. That's what it's all about. Raycons are amazing. No stems, no wires. You will love these things. 45-day happiness guarantee. And that charging case, once again, once you charge it up, take it anywhere, you get 4 full charges with that for your earbuds without having to be connected to a wall. Get your Raycons now. They start under $70. Buyraycon.com/Chad. Buyraycon.com/Chad. Buyraycon.com/Chad saves you an extra 15%. Chad Benson Show.
Don't make me wear your mask. Are you trying to kill me? What happens if you have corona?
No need to socially distance while listening to your Chad Benson Show podcast. 4 out of 5 experts say so.
I'm a scientist. There is no corona.
But hurry before they change their mind. You know they will. Chad's podcast found on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, and wherever you find your favorite COVID-free podcasts.
Oh my gosh. I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie.
This is the Chad Benson Show.
Airline CEOs had said a few weeks ago, before the Delta variant exploded in the U.S., they thought the mask mandate on board airplanes would not be renewed when it expired in September. But now we're living in a whole new world of mask mandates coming back. And now a source with knowledge confirms to ABC News the mask mandate in airports, airplanes, trains, and buses will be extended until at least January.
Woo! How excited is that? Huh? Is everybody excited for that? Mask mandates. United sent out a memo to all of its people saying, don't duct tape people to stuff. Please, we ask you. There are better things on board to restrain people. I'm like, what if that's all you have? Honestly, what if that's all you have? You have nothing else but that. Maybe you're stuck doing that, I guess. It's kind of scary they have duct tape on a plane anyways. What do you have duct tape? Well, sometimes the wing gets a little wobbly. Want to make sure, we ran out of Gorilla Glue. So it's the best we have. You would think they would give them zip ties, right? Something of that nature. None of the flight crew have anything, Heard you guys a little crazy, wink, wink. So that's what they got going on there. So if you're going to go on United and you decide, I'm going to get a little squirrely, don't worry. You don't have to worry about anything because they're not going to duct tape you. I don't know what they may do to you, but duct tape seems to be out of the question at this point in time. But you will be wearing a mask. And you know what? That's not cool. If your mask is really good, you won't be able to smell pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin is back at Dunkin'.
The perennial fall fave officially back today at Dunkin'. It's the earliest that Dunkin' has ever kicked off pumpkin spice season. Hashtag pumpkin spice used more than 500 million times on TikTok alone. With all that interest, more brands than ever jumping in on the fall flavor frenzy. Pumpkin spice dog treats, pumpkin spice cookie dough from Nestle Toll House, even pumpkin spice cup noodles coming to Walmart this autumn. Starbucks first introduced the pumpkin spice latte back in 2003, igniting the pumpkin pandemonium that has been a hallmark of the season in the years since.
Yep, pumpkin spice is back. People are ready. They're feeling fall, hoping that the change in the air will bring with them happiness and a change of this damn virus and the battling that goes on with it. I saw that Home Depot brought out all of their Halloween stuff in pretty much in every store. So they brought out a early group of Halloween stuff in pretty much every single store. They said they sold out almost immediately. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was in a store the other day and I purchased a few things that were Halloween based. I would be lying, and I don't want to lie to you guys. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Guys, the White House is gearing up to make a big announcement about the COVID vaccine.
The Biden administration is expected to announce that most Americans should get a COVID booster shot 8 months after their second dose of the vaccine.
Yep, Biden will be making the booster shot announcement as part of his Operation Change the Subject. And to sell Americans on the idea, the White House is hiring a movie trailer narrator to be like, this fall, Pfizer completes their epic trilogy.
It is Operation Change the Subject. Find it odd yesterday. It's like, hey, tell everybody got to get extra 400. You replace your blood with the stuff. You got to do that. Tell them that. Tell them something. Anything to stop looking at me.
Apparently, pretty soon we're all going to be triple vaxxed. The Biden administration is reportedly about to recommend that we all get booster shots. Good luck with that, Joe. Yeah, we're like, America can't even agree on the first shots. We're like one giant family dinner where half the table wants pizza and the other half wants to die of COVID. How many shots have you gotten?
I got 2.
You didn't go and lie at CVS for your third?
No, not yet.
Me neither. I didn't lie to get a third.
Julie Bowen from Modern Family. But maybe I did. I saved somebody the other day because I'm a hiker. It's just, So why are we getting this? That's my question. Why are we getting this? Why are we getting a third? Because do we really know that it's not working the same way it did at the beginning? Do we really know that?
What we're talking about this week is people who got full protection with 2 doses, and they're starting to see a decline in protection levels.
Oh, okay. Is that what we're saying there, Dr. Besser? Now, are we sure it's everybody? Because remember who got this originally? Older people. When you get older, your immune system weakens. Okay? So the reproduction of your B and T cells in your bone marrow, your thymus, all of these things, your secondary lymph node tissues, you start to see all kinds of weakening. So you don't have the same kind of reaction if you're older than you do when you're younger. So are you sure it's everybody, or are you just throwing it out there? Well, the Israelis, but did they do everybody? Because they did it kind of the same way we did, which was older people with compromised immune system. Of course, it's not going to be the same. But if you're 27 and you're in good health and you've gotten both these shots, there's probably a good chance that you're doing okay, and you may be doing okay for a while. We, just a couple weeks ago, it's like, you may not need one for a year or so. Now it's like, all right, 8 months. 8 months, no, eight, next week, Tuesday, tomorrow, now. Speaking of getting vaccinated, Governor Abbott, you guys remember him? He's the governor of Texas. Let's make sure that you can go to school, not wear a mask if you don't want to. It's all about freedom. It's very interesting because he got some interesting news.
Hi, this is Governor Greg Abbott. As you may have heard by now, I have tested positive for COVID-19. I test myself every day, and today is the first day that I tested positive. The good news is that my wife continues to test negative. Also want you to know that I have received the COVID-19 vaccine, and that may be one reason why I'm really not feeling any symptoms right now. I have no fever, no aches and pains, or other types of symptoms. Also, I want to express my gratitude for everybody across the entire country that has been sending in their well wishes. God bless you all.
Yeah. I posted something yesterday about this, and the well wishes were not there. There was a lot of hate.
Oh, and by the way, just to make your day a little bit better, Governor Abbott has COVID-19. I can't say that I ever thought I would be rooting for COVID-19, but alas, here we are. Come on, now do DeSantis.
So funny. You sit there and you laugh. And you're like, oh, man, those people on the left, they just love, right? The right is awful as well when it comes to stuff like this. This is what I see when it comes to this, okay? This is what I see. I see people who don't get vaccinated think the vaccine is dangerous, root for the people who do get vaccinated at times to almost have side effects. He's aha, I told you. On the other side, the left in particular, because that's really, we're still in this culture. Remember, this is a culture clash. Don't look at this as anti-vax, anti-vax. It's not. And it's nothing to do based on science. This is all based on right, left, red, blue. They want people to, you heard, like, oh, yeah, well, you'll see. You'll get really sick. You may even die. It's like, and they almost want that. So they could say what? I told you, because that's what this is all about. Remember, the culture clash, and that's what this is. This is a clash of cultures, just like whether, and you could take it, whether we're talking about gender and the chaos that goes there, defunding police, right? All of these things, all the way to the point where, you get to the point where you're talking about critical race theory. All of it is in line in the same direction. Left over here, right over here, everybody fight. Just all we're doing is replacing mask with, we got rid of critical race theory, we put mask in there. We got rid of the gender pronouns and whatever we put in vaccines. And that's all this is. And nobody's interested in any real answer. All they're interested in is being right. And by the way, being right over somebody doesn't mean you're right. You just want to feel superior. That's it. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. So he pulled out of the Afghani nation, and it was floundering at absolute best. It was a flounder move. And that's being nice. That's being nice. On the other side of things, the world is paying attention and saying, what the hell happened here? What in God's name happened here? It's one of the Homeland Security people in England talking about this because they were caught off guard as well and are asking serious questions.
In his speech of self-justification after the collapse of Kabul, President Biden reduced a complex military issue to only two stark alternatives: either a massive troop surge on a never-ending basis or a ruthless, chaotic and dishonorable departure.
And he's right. And this lands at his feet. Here's the other thing, and this should piss you off. We have no plan for the border. Their plan for inflation is, well, the economists think it's all going to take itself out next year. It'd be fine. And, well, I mean, when it comes to what's going on with the coronavirus, this is landing at your feet right here. This is all you. So you've got very little plans for a lot of these things. We have how many people coming across the border? Last month, 200,000. We're setting records for unaccompanied minors, for families. That was 200,000+ that we actually encountered, took into custody, and did whatever they're doing at this point in time because they're so overworked. I'm watching Vice last night, and they had a reporter that was over there, and he was an Afghani. And he was one of the last planes to leave Afghanistan with his family. He's on a military base now, I think in Doha. But he said, when I got on the airplane, I didn't even know where I was going. I thought I was going to Qatar. I thought I was going to the United Arab Emirates. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't want to be here. So he's on a military base, an American military base. He goes, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know if I'm ever allowed to leave this base, but this is it. And then they started talking about, well, what about visas to come over to America or to, and some of these other allies that were there in the region with us. And some of the other allies, the Brits and stuff, are trying to do some stuff. We're like, well, it's a long process. I'm like, a long process? How about this? Let's put them on an airplane if this is the way we're going to do stuff. They actually did stuff. They risked their lives. They risked their lives knowing full well what the retribution will be. And we still have God knows how many tens of thousands of them there that the other day he's like, well, some of them wanted to say to see what happens. That's my Biden impression. That's what I heard. I'm like, just put them on an airplane, drop them off in Mexico, tell them to walk across the border. They'll be fine. So you're going to make them wait in another country for their visas to be processed with no expediency whatsoever in the process by the sounds of it. When we have south of the border people walking across, hell, at this point in time, we might as well have a ticket taker. Right? Come on through. Thank you. Keep your hands and arms inside at all times. That's the insanity of this. They risked their lives. They did a lot of things to help us in their country that they have left behind in a war-torn area that is now going to be under rule of a group of people that 20 years ago when they ruled with beyond an iron fist. And we're like, you guys are going to have to wait over here. Hey, you guys over here, just come on through. Fantastic. You guys see this here? They're a voting bloc that is phenomenal. You guys are not quite there yet. So, not quite there. Clown show. That's what's going on here. Once again, pulling out. I think most of us were for If there was no objective that was real, that was in sight, then pulling out, we had no problem with. Bringing our men and women home, absolutely zero problems with that. The problem is you couldn't have figured these things out sooner. It doesn't have to be America. There were other allies and people that I'm sure would have taken some of them based on the fact that they know that America would be helping out with a lot of that stuff. And you couldn't get this done? Good God. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. MyPillow, they make towels. They make amazing sheets. They make all kinds of goodies. And right now, your chance, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to take advantage of all of the deep discounts you see at MyPillow. Whether it's $40 for the amazing towels, you get a 6-piece towel set that is incredible. So you get 2 giant towels, you get 2 hand towels, and you get 2 washcloths, right? $40 for those. Incredible. Super absorbent. Cotton's grown right here in America. 6-day money-back guarantee. Maybe you want the Geezer Dream Sheets. Amazing. Little sateen that you slide in there. Oh, cotton's grown in a certain area in the Mediterranean that is incredible. The best sheets you will ever sleep on. Super breathable. Maybe you just want the MyPillow. They got deep discounts across all of their amazing products. Now is your chance. Take advantage of those. You go to MyPillow.com. Well, really, yeah. Simple and easy. Use promo code Benson. That's MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Benson. Take advantage of all of the deep discounts on all the products, whether it's the mattress toppers, the MyPillow, the Geezer Dream Sheets, or the towel set. You will love them all. 6-day money-back guarantee. MyPillow.com. Promo code Benson. Chad Benson Show.
Set Chad straight. Text the show, 323-538-2423. That's 323-538-CHAD. Someone has to do it. Might as well be you. The Chad Benson Show.
The Raiders are proud to lead the way to keep our fans, the team, and the community safe. We know it's the right thing to do. We know it's the right way to keep this stadium full all season long and to create the game day experience that our fans love and miss and remember.
Yeah, you think? So the Raiders are going to mandate vaccines to see the Raiders are?
We'll be providing vaccinations on site for those that have not received their vaccination. We'll be able to process that here on site. They'll receive their vaccine card at that point, and they'll then be able to follow the protocol to then get it uploaded to clear.
We're talking about the Raiders with the guy with the swashbuckler with the patch in the eye with the Raiders. The Raiders.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously.
The Raiders.
His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache.
The Raiders.
He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold.
I just find that to be so bizarre that the Raiders are doing that. Partly because if you go look at their season tickets, it's not a lot of people in Vegas because Raiders are, even though they're excited. And by the way, Nevada, Las Vegas, they love their sports. They have what they have done with hockey. The hottest ticket, maybe in sports, and the hardest ticket to get is a Vegas Knights ticket. This is going to be equally as hard. You're going to have a lot of people flying in. Vegas is a little bit different when it comes to night. That's their team. It was born there. It was raised there. It's being raised there. It's still in its infancy, and it's already had huge success. On the other side of things, the Raiders is Northern and Southern California. People love that. So they got a lot of people coming in from out of town. But the fact that you can do that and you get a shot there. Wait, what? And they're gonna upload it to clear. I don't know about that. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. So pumpkin spice is rolling out, which is not one of the Spice Girls, as we all know. That must mean it's that time of the year we start thinking not only about that, but maybe some cookies.
Move over, Thin Mints and Do-si-dos. The Girl Scouts of America, many known as brownies, will soon have a brownie-inspired cookie. The new Adventurefuls cookie will join the Girl Scouts national cookie lineup for the 2022 selling season, which runs from January through April. A press release says every bite of Adventurefuls is full of indulgent brownie-inspired flavor, with a combination of chocolatey and caramel, smooth and crispy textures for an incredible taste of adventure in every bite.
There you go. And then you wonder why. This is the thing about this. Think about how awesome our lives are here. We have people that come door to door. Would you like to buy cookies? We have people set up in front of a place that sells food to sell you more food. Soak that in for a second. The Raiders. I love the autumn wind. John Fonseca, if you never watched it all the way through, it is brilliant. His narration is incredible. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. It's the Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Can you offer any guarantee to the Americans and Afghan allies that if they remain there past the end of the month, U.S. troops will help them evacuate?
Our focus right now is on doing the work at hand, and that is day by day, getting as many American citizens, as many SIV applicants, as many members of a vulnerable population who are eligible to be evacuated to the airport and out on planes. That is the focus of the president.
Yeah, it's the focus on the president, kind of, but not really, because he screwed this thing up in a major way. He would, as we'd say, jack the pooch on this one. That's what I did, kids, jack the pooch. Messed it up. Dropped the ball. Fumbled. And then pointed fingers at everybody else. Then pointed fingers at others. It's their fault. It was this fault. Your fault over here. That person's fault. The guy before me's fault. The guy after me's fault. He's not even there. Maybe it's the girl's fault. Maybe it's the lady that wants to be president's fault who's standing behind me waiting for me to fall down. But no, it's not my fault. Kind of is. Kind of is, man. You said it the other day. Buck stops with me. Buck does stop with you. Not saying we should be there any longer. With no clear objective, what the hell are we doing there? If you told the nation we're going to keep a skeleton 2,500 man operation in and around places like Kandahar and Kabul to protect these major cities as they try to build themselves up and to protect not only some of our allies, but potentially the ladies, because we're going to get to that in a second, and also to make sure that terrorism and organizations like Al-Qaeda and others don't try to get a foothold back in here. That is what our mission is from here on out. Maybe people have been like, all right. There was at least a plan there, but no plan there. And he lied, by the way. Well, I didn't know anything about any of the stuff. I never got no intelligence. I keep giving him a different voice every time. Just deal with it. Oh, you had intelligence handed to you. You just chose not to read it. Or accept it. New York Times, LA Times, MSNBC, CNN. Of course, we know Fox. The other two, nobody cares about. Chad. All of them said the same thing. The military was like, yeah, don't do this. Not this way. You don't really think they're going to take it over, do you? Yeah, we're going to take it over in like 5 minutes. I don't think so. I think so. I don't think so. Oh, yeah. Maybe I don't believe you guys. That's fine. This is the military intelligence from our allies. They're lying. They don't like me. Okay. Without a shot. Fell. They had known for a long time what was coming. On top of that, we have men and women over there who risked their lives in what they thought was going to be the destruction of the Taliban and making sure they did everything they possibly could to help us along the way in trying to build some sort of bridge to democracy. And again, nation building is not something you do on the outside. It's something you do on the inside, meaning the people themselves have to do that. We've left them, and we still have lots of Americans over there. This was an absolute debacle. And when you say, I didn't have any real warning, I didn't understand it, that's a lie.
The Biden administration defending their handling of the Afghanistan withdrawal. Just one day after President Biden admitted the Taliban's takeover happened faster than anticipated. But a U.S. intelligence official telling ABC News leaders were told by the military it would take no time at all for the Taliban to take everything.
Yeah. No time at all. Let's go over this again. No time at all. You knew what was coming. Unless you ignored it. And if you ignored it, whose fault's that? Stop blaming the last guy, right? Stop blaming the last guy. That's a you thing at this point in time. It lands at your feet. You said you want the buck to stop with you. I will allow that to happen. The buck stops with you. It's a hot mess. Our allies are pissed. And you, fairly silent outside of that half-ass whatever it was the other day. It's one of the security directors over in Great Britain talking about this nightmare.
In his speech of self-justification after the collapse of Kabul, President Biden reduced a complex military issue to only two stark alternatives. Either a massive troop surge on a never-ending basis, or a ruthless, chaotic, and dishonorable departure.
He chose the latter. And we didn't need to be there forever. Again, you wanted all this transparency. That's all I think people want. Like, if he would have said to the people, look, I got in here. I'm listening to my people that I trust, the generals, the military people that I put in positions of power because I trust them and I trust what they see and I trust what they say because they're coming at it from a real way. If we step out of here, men and women are going to die, and there's a very good chance that X, Y, and Z can happen. We don't know all the information. Then at least you go, okay, I get this. Because I always go back to everybody. I'm closing Guantanamo Bay. They never close Guantanamo Bay. I'm pulling these troops out, and we're not going to fight endless wars. Obama bombed more people. Dropped more bombs. It's insane. And got us into more crap. So everybody says it, but you don't know. Right? Mike Tyson said it great. Everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face. But he said it like, everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face. You don't know until you get in there. But this right here, absolute joke. Absolute joke. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Booster shots. What? We're getting booster shots now? That's what they're pushing?
What we're talking about this week is people who got full protection with 2 doses, and they're starting to see a decline in protection levels.
That would be older people. Why are you telling younger people based on no science? Because remember, most of the people that got this thing first were older or people that were in compromised situations because their immune system, for whatever reason, whether they're going through cancer treatment, HIV and AIDS, maybe they've got, autoimmune disease, some of those things. We're talking about people like that as well as the elderly. And if you're older, your immune system declines over time. Dr. Besser.
If COVID stays with us over the years, and I expect that it probably will, we're going to need to get vaccinated against it on a regular basis in the same way that we do for the flu.
But we don't call it a vaccine, right? It's not a flu vaccine. We just call it a shot. Did you get the flu shot? And that's the way this thing should be. Once we get a therapeutic that we think like azithromycin, and some of these things we think we can use this, all bets are off, right? You just got to live your life. Right now, we're fighting over masks. We're fighting over all kinds of stuff. We're seeing, school board meetings, devolve into fist fights, and teachers are getting beat up, and it's insane. And people feel that they've been lied to. And, some people will take whatever the government says just in lockstep. Oh, yeah. And other people push back, and sometimes to the detriment and the ridiculousness of it. But it's fair to ask a question about some of these things. Now you're telling us we need a booster. And I'm asking, where's the science for people who are under 65? Why would you need a booster at this point? Because you don't even know how long it lasts. Well, we're seeing a decline. You're seeing a decline in somebody who's 73 with the comorbidities. And over time, even if they're in good health, their immune system is not working the way it is when you're younger. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. But we have a right, and we should be asking questions. And that's the scary thing. And this is what I try to tell people who are all about the vaccine. No questions asked. You should ask questions. You have every right to ask questions. And the fact that you're not asking some questions and just following along is a little scary. I've got my shots. I've been spayed and neutered. No, I've got my shots. And I've had the damn thing. Saying all of that, I'm not anti-vax. I'm common sense. Make the best decision for you and your family. But please ask questions. And you should ask questions. Going along with it, my goodness me. When people talk about sheeple, that is very much sheeple. It's like wearing the damn mask. So wait a minute here. I've got to wear a mask because some other people that don't want to get a shot and are fine with that don't want to wear a mask, and I'm supposed to protect them. And I go back to the analogy. You're telling me to wear a mask. Essentially, it's like saying there's a person in the water who can't swim, and I'm standing on dry land, and you've asked me to wear a flotation device. Okay. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from all of you. Raycons make the best earbuds around. You will love, love, love your Raycons. That I promise you. In fact, you will love your Raycons. And if you don't, they say send them back within 45 days. Get your money back. You will not be doing that. You're going to love your Raycons. Try them for yourself. It is simple and easy. You go to buyraycon.com/Chad. You're going to save 15%. They start under $70. You get a pair of earbuds that come with 6 different soft gel tips because not everybody's ear is the same. So you want to make sure they fit perfect, give that noise isolating fit. Sound control design is amazing. On top of all of that, you get several different colors to choose from. You get your capsule, as they call it, or your case. That will give you up to 4 charges. So every time you charge that thing up, it gives you up to 4 charges. That means once it's charged up, you take it wherever you want. You don't have to worry about being tethered somewhere. You will love these things. Get them now. Best sound quality, best design. Soak it up, baby. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. Chad Benson Show.
Check out our Chad Benson Show Facebook page where you can hang out or hang your grievances out to dry. This is Chad Benson.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending. What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old internet. What's trending? Let us take a peek and find out what's trending around the globe. We'll broadcast live. Sad news, Sean Locke has passed away. British comedian, won a lot of awards, only 58, died of cancer. 8 out of 10 Cats is one of the shows he starred on. If you've never seen it, it is hilarious. And again, you know, the world goes on. It's not just all this chaos and craziness and sad news, because that show is funny, and he was self-deprecating and brilliant on that show. Greg Abbott tested positive for the Rona, for the communist flu. People cheering on his death, apparently. That's what they're hoping for. It's just so stupid. Tim Tebow was released by the Jaguars. If you've not seen Tim Tebow, he, of course, was the famed football player who's a quarterback who was dominant in college, but then found out that he really couldn't throw a football. College was different, and had another shot with the Jacksonville Jaguars and his old coach there, Urban Meyer, and over the weekend played his first game as a tight end, and that did not go well. It didn't. So that guy never quits, though, man. I'll tell you that. You gotta love that. I tell my kids, that's somebody you look up to right there, right? When you're looking at like work ethic and stuff, right? You look up to Dad because he's busting his butt, but that guy just doesn't stop. Doesn't stop. Britney Spears, if you've not seen it, just go Britney Spears on the Google machine, and yeah. Her mostly naked pictures all over because she's reclaiming something. I'm not quite sure what she's reclaiming, but every time somebody's like, they should free her, and I'm like, I go look at her Twitter. And like 10 minutes later, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, Chad, head on over to the magical world of Twitter. Hashtag if Trump were reinstated is trending. People are going, all right, you remember that thing where this guy was a real Richard? Yeah. Well, now let's just be real. Let's say we took away all of his stuff, so he had nowhere to tweet anymore. Maybe, like, it wouldn't be so bad. Because most of the chaos came from what? From the Twitter. And from media going nuts over stuff and telling you it's Russia. He peed on prostitutes and he did all the stuff, and the Russians and him were best friends, and Putin and the Chinese hacked in and gave him the thing. No, that didn't happen. But he tweeted and he was mean and he said stuff that was horrible about crap hole nations. Okay. And all Mexicans are rapists and murderers. Again, lies. None of that's true. Nope, not true. Not true. Ballots are going out in California. Polls show a dead heat. So remember this. We're going to get into it later on this week. Our buddy Jim Kennedy will join us to talk about this. But remember this. The way it works in California is you have people on the ballot. The first question is, do you want to recall the governor? That would be Gavin Newsom. If it's yes, then you go and you vote for the person that you would like to see as governor. So it's one ballot with two questions. And the second question is it's obsolete if they decide we're going to keep this guy. If they decided they want to remove him, then you've got like 400 quadrillion people that are running for governor, from Caitlyn Jenner, like John Cox, who ran last time as the Republican candidate, to Larry Elder, who's a talk show host, who right now seems to be the person in the lead. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
In Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
As we were driving in, I saw this one mum with a tiny little baby, and in desperation, she was just in floods of tears, and her husband is clutching, a little plastic folder with the papers that he's got to show that he has worked with the Americans. He's one of the people who should be on the plane, but he can't get past the Taliban. And there are thousands of people down there like that.
Oh, but wait, they're kinder, they're gentler. We have proof. Listen to this fun stuff, right? You guys ready? Huh? Listen to this. Right? They're lifting weights, huh? Getting their lift on, getting their swole on. Getting your stroll on. All right, there you go. Get on. That's right. Get on the trampoline. Yeah, look at that. Oh, and you guys are over there with your AK-47s and riding around and smashing at each other, the bumper cars. Now, you are kinder and gentler. No, they're not. They were so bad. If you don't know nothing about them, they were so bad. It was like it's like watching Mad Max. If Mad Max was rated PG and they're rated R, like that's how bad they were. In a couple months, there'll be people strapped to the bumper cars. You heard Ian Panel there, though. He's over there. He's like, these people are trying to leave, and there's like no way it's happening. Ever. No. We have failed them. This administration has failed them. This was a long time coming. And look, it's not going to be perfect. Even with the best plan, as we know, human beings are going to screw some stuff up. We had no plan other than, let's get them out. Okay. How's that work? Not well. That's how it worked. Not well. Failed tremendously. We left people over there that have helped us. The chances of us getting them out, I don't know what that is. I do know this, though. It's a hot mess, and this is yet another thing that is landing at the feet of this president. The Delta variant has pushed COVID back into the front of everything. We were going from virtually no deaths and very few hospitalizations to a rise in both, and watching the coronavirus continue to rage in certain parts of the country. Yesterday, 144,000 new cases. The 7-day moving average is 139,000. If you go back to June 28th, we're averaging 12,000, right? Just a few months ago. Even this time last month, new cases, maybe 30,000, 20,000, about 22,000 7-day moving average. We have jumped that high. The one thing that we could say is good is the deaths aren't really going the way that we saw during the latter part of last year, but really through January, which was awful. But that jump yesterday, the day before, you start to see this thing ramp up. We've been over 200,000 a couple times. This is not a good look at this point in time for him, and the battle rages on. Masking in school. You've got the two of the bigger states in the country. They're just saying to you, Biden, we're not going to let kids mask up, right? And there's groups out there, let them breathe. Okay. I got kids going to school. Let them breathe. Do you not believe in masks? I believe in masks. I also believe that kids are kids and they're going to do stupid things. My son, God bless him, but he's a hot mess when it comes to cleanliness. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I've got no problem masking them up to a certain extent. I think sitting them there for 6, 7, 8 hours during a day while they wear a mask is ridiculous. You try sitting there for 6 or 7 hours during the day with a mask on. It's going to drive you crazy. It is. They're going to wear it around their chin, but it's the feel, right? It's the feeling. And they're not wearing the right mask anyways because it matches my outfit. Fantastic. It's solid. Can you smell anything through it? Yeah, I can smell stuff through it. Then it's not working. Oh. But what? Kids under 12 can't get it. Kids under 12 are the ones that are the hottest messes when it comes to just being kids under 12. Rubbing their eyes, picking their nose, dropping this thing. It fell on the floor, but I'm not going to. That's what kids do. Right? Then they go home, and their parents haven't been masked. They're still hanging out with them. Are you going to ask them to wear a mask all day at home? They're going to be around other people? Is that where we are? Well, I don't. Just stop it. How do we do this? Where we all want to get to the same place without trying to kill each other getting there? It's a good question. Now we need a booster. Do we? Maybe. Depends. Depends on what? Well, where's the science that say if you're 35 years old, you've got both of your shots, and now they want you to go get a booster? Well, because some countries are looking at this, they're looking at an older population and your immune system drops and isn't as good as when you're younger. That's data, facts, and science, and they talk about that. You can even go to, like Harvard, Yale, John Hopkins, look that stuff up. It'll tell you right there. Yeah, your immune system falls as you get older. Okay. But is that for everybody or just... So Afghanistan's a nightmare. Delta's flourishing. The immigration side of things is an absolute debacle. And let's not forget something that every one of us participates in, the economy. How's that going?
Clothing stores down 2.6%, and building materials shops, gardening supply stores, those sales there down 1.2%. There is a notable exception. Americans are dining out more now. Those sales up 1.7%. The key question now is, to what extent did the Delta variant, the rise in the Delta variant, cause these additional ripple effects on U.S. consumers, and how much is inflation, those rising prices we see, eating into consumer spending?
Yeah, a lot. People are stepping back. They're seeing prices jump in certain areas. In other areas, like, we've talked about this, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. We've had the guy that writes the book, and I forget his name, but he talks about the things that we want usually stay relatively cheap. The things that we need are the things that are always growing in price. You couple that with a broken supply chain, expensive fuel, a floundering economy right now, and government intervention to continue to hand people money, you're going to run into a hot mess. And some economists are saying this is not just run-of-the-mill inflation that's going to go away based on the fact that we've got all of this, the supply chain. Some of that's real. Some of that is. Some of that's very real. But some of it's not. You're asking OPEC, hey, is there any way? I mean, we could do all of our own oil stuff, and we could do a lot of different things. Because remember, so much of it, and especially when it comes to things like the marketplace in the stock market world, buying and selling commodities in the indices and things of that nature, is based on optics, because a lot of people will jump ahead of things trying to outsmarket the marketplace. If you think you're going to flood the marketplace full of oil, what are you going to see? You're going to see oil prices collapse. What's that do? It makes things cheaper outside of the refining side of things to purchase. Cheaper the oil, easier it is to refine, easier it is to refine. Guess what? Oil prices go down. You start to see pressure off gas prices, things of that nature. And no, you're not handling it the way you should be. And you're continuing to go, it's no big deal. It'll be fine. You're looking at a mess in Afghanistan. You've pissed off our allies as much as Trump has. You keep going back to blaming him. You've pissed them off in the way that you've handled this. You didn't listen to any of your people. The Delta virus is raging, and you want every buck to stop with you. I can't blame you for the virus, but I do have lots of questions to ask about another booster, recommending insane things about wearing masks, even though you've got the shot and the chance of a breakthrough is slim. And even at that point in time, who am I wearing a mask for? Somebody who already doesn't want to wear a mask and doesn't believe this. What do they care? You've got an economy that very top heavy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's true. It's true. And then you've got a broken immigration system that you don't even acknowledge. I think you better figure something out. And this is all on you. It's a funny thing. Yesterday I threw that out there and somebody's like, this is all Trump's fault. I said, no. At some point, it's your thing. Yeah, Trump wanted to get us out of there. And I think, Afghanistan, I think we'd all agree. If there was no plan, and there was no real objective, then getting us the hell out of there was the right thing to do. And I have zero problems with that. It's the way you went about doing it. Immigration, tell me there's a plan. Say what you want about Trump. Separating families, absolutely appalling. That was a crappy, horrible thing to do. Having them wait on the other side of the border while they applied for asylum, getting rid of catch and release, I thought that was okay if you're serious about stopping things. Well, yeah, I mean, we're kind of like. You're not. You're an open border. Everybody's like, Chad, he's not going to be he's beyond an open border. Inflation? You can't blame everything, but you're starting to look and go, there are moves you can make that can help some of this stuff out. There's a lot of things as president and your party, not just you, that can do some things rather than the status quo. We'll just give more people more money. And when it comes to the Delta virus, the variant of this communist flu, I have news for you. No, I don't trust a lot of what you guys say. And the reality is it's hard to trust. Trust but verify. And at some point in time, you look around and you get frustrated because you get told 12 different things by 15 different people, and all of them have a grain of truth, and then all of them have their masters behind them tugging the strings. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Let's talk about rough greens. Give it to my dog every day. I don't know if it'll beat the Delta variant because he's a dog and he doesn't really leave the couch that much or bounce around the house, so I'm really not worried about him. But I tell you what, it has beat his joint pain. It has made him happier and healthier. Doodle has got a proverbial smile on his face. And I love it. I do. I give it to him every day. It's a supplement, goes right on top of the dog's food. So Doodle eats it up. Bowie and Red, my other ones, they eat it up. Sprinkle it right on top of there. They love it. It's got vegetables, vitamins, minerals, probiotics, all of these amazing, incredible things. Brings their food to life. Right now, they want you to try it. So it's K9 VitaSmart from Rough Greens. You're not going to pay a penny outside of shipping. That's all they're asking you to do. You cover the cost of shipping. They're going to send it to you for free. How easy is that? All you have to do is go to ruffgreens.com/Chad. That's ruffgreens.com/Chad. You cover shipping. They send you a bag free. Put it to the test. Or you can call 833-MY-DOG-77. 833-MY-DOG-77. Rough Greens makes any pet food better. Chad Benson Show.
Helen Keller is a Nazi terrorist that is a male. Is that what you're telling me right now?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Hitler?
Who's Hitler?
Vaccines work, but only the Chad Benson Show is 100% effective against stupidity.
Do you know what D-Day is? D-Day.
A person? A rapper? God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and wherever you find your favorite woke-free podcasts. This is the Chad Benson Show.
COVID-19 boosters are coming to a theater near you on September 20th. What? No. Yeah. They're recommending. They're going to be offering to all Americans beginning September 20th COVID-19 boosters. This is going to be more interesting, I think, than the first round because you have a lot of people out there who feel like, I got the shot, I tried to do everything possible, I still feel like I'm living in limbo, and at this point in time, I'm thinking no. So it'll be, some people run out. They'll take, I was talking to a guy here. He's like, if they give me 10, I'll take them. I'm like, that's fantastic. Okay. But I'm curious. I'm really curious to see the way that this thing unfolds because I do think you're going to get people who are vaccinated who are going to be far more questioning why and not from a is it safe point, but why am I doing this now when I feel like the same people who didn't get shots also aren't getting shots? And it's not a vaccine. Remember, it's a flu shot kind of scenario. A vaccine, when you think of vaccine, I think of vaccine, what do we think of? It's a one and done, one every 5, one every 10 years. You put it out of the back of your mind and you don't have to worry about it. This is, take it. You're probably not going to get it, but should you, it also acts as a therapeutic in mitigating any of the damage it potentially could do. So there you go. But I do believe you're going to get more people that are vaccinated who are going to be hesitant, and not because they think it's safe or not safe or whatever it is, because they have more questions about why from the political side of it, meaning the optics of why are you asking people to do this now? Is it really necessary? Why is it's the same group of people that have already been vaccinated and you're not making headwaves in other parts? So why again? Like you're asking us to do even more and it feels like we're at the same place. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Please, please, please do. Enjoy talking to each and every one of you. It has returned. Pumpkin spice latte has returned. Now, I don't like pumpkin. I like to carve them. I love the smell of that stuff, but I can't eat it. It just grosses me out. I don't know what it is. But it is back because there's a sense of fall for a lot of people. And they like that. Remember last year people were trying to get into stuff earlier? I was reading that Home Depot put out like an early first round of Halloween decorations, and they were just gone immediately. We want to change in the air. Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
The Biden administration's COVID-19 response team today announcing Americans will need a booster shot of a COVID-19 vaccine to maximize protection and prolong the durability of the vaccine. In a statement, the COVID response team says the available data, quote, make very clear that protection against infection begins to decrease over time following the initial doses of vaccination. The administration says it's prepared to offer booster shots for all Americans. That shot should come 8 months after an individual's second dose. This announcement applies to the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines.
Again, nobody cares about the people who got J&J. You're like Tiffany Trump. Oh, yeah. You got that? That's pretty cool. It's only one, right? So, wait, now I'm supposed to get a booster after 8 months. I was looking yesterday. I got mine in March. So, a booster. Why am I getting a booster? Not because you're going to get a booster, because it's waning over time. Like, how much is it waning? Just all questions you should ask. Is it really necessary? Is this a political tool? Ask your doctor. If you're going to ask your doctor about any of these things, this is one of them. Now, some people, they're not going to, right? Like, as we already know, people are like, oh, my God, I got another one. I've already had 12, but I need a 13th.
The first people who got the vaccines were people working in frontline medical services, nursing homes, et cetera. So it's likely going to be those same individuals who are eligible in the middle of September, even though people have already run out there and tried to get their booster shots on their own.
They've already done that. You can do that pretty much anywhere. They don't ask you. So you can go do it. Not allowed to ask you your vaccine status. Well, why not? You're telling me that the restaurant down the street has to, but you guys can't? So if I want to get a dozen shots, you're cool with that. If I don't want to tell the guy that's serving me pizza whether or not I got a shot, there's where you have a problem. Okay? Okay. Wonder what it's going to be like. Do you remember? Are we going to have to go, oh my God, am I going to have to go to a football stadium? Like 2:30 in the morning again? Is that what's going to have to happen?
One thing that I worry about is that this is going to widen the disparity we saw in delivery of the vaccines earlier in December. But on the plus side, the government does have over 100 million shots in reserve and a lot more facilities to administer these vaccines. So they suspect that it'll go much smoother.
Yeah, I should hope so. Because the rush to get him originally was for two reasons. Some people, they're terrified. They'd soaked everything up. This was new. They didn't know what any of this was about. Like, oh, it's understandable, right? We only had a limited amount. Supply, demand. The demand was larger than the supply. So there was that. Okay. Fair. See that. Then everybody else outside of that's like, yeah, it'll be good, not really worried about it, but mostly I'm taking it, so take this damn mask off. Get back to our normal life. Now you want me to get a third shot. Still trying to figure out the science of it all. I know the Israelis have done a big study, but so much of that was based on the first several groups that got it, which tend to be older groups or people that are already in compromised immune system problems and had comorbidities. So is that the same here? Because like 2 weeks ago, everybody's like, Fauci's like, I don't think you're going to need a booster for a while. Now it's like, go out and get it. So I think you're going to have a lot more people question the third than you did the first or second, especially when the reality is still feels like everything's kind of the same. Wearing a mask, arguing about kids in school, seeing social distancing measures put back in place. Offices have scaled back and or said, no, we're not going to reopen until next year at the earliest. So I think it's a fair question to ask the government and the officials and, yeah, even your doctor. And I'm going to talk to my doctor because he's a cool cat. I like him. He'll text me back. Hey, Doc, Dr. Lamb, let me ask you a question. And you should ask questions. I'm not anti-vax. I got my shots. First time available. I'm like, all right, cool. I went and got it. Signed up for it. Went over, got it. Quick and easy. No, I didn't have any side effects. Are you sure you didn't have side effects? You probably didn't get the real shots. Somebody said to me the other day. I'm like, okay. They're like, this guy's coming in. Quick, get him the saline. Idiots. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show was your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from all of you. All that being said, and I love this, as we talk about the third shot. Late Night was having fun with this, and I think Jimmy Fallon actually hit this one out of the park.
Well, guys, the White House is gearing up to make a big announcement about the COVID vaccine.
The Biden administration is expected to announce that most Americans should get a COVID booster shot 8 months after their second dose of the vaccine.
Yep. Biden will be making the booster shot announcement as part of his Operation Change the Subject. And to sell Americans on the idea, the White House is hiring a movie trailer narrator to be like, this fall, Pfizer completes their epic trilogy.
Yeah. Kind of. That's what it feels like. Does feel a little bit Operation Change the Subject. What would he be changing the subject from? Anybody? Oh, yeah, his poor handling of the pullout in Afghanistan. And poor handling is well, that's being nice. If you're aware of this, he was aware of a lot of stuff. At least according to stuff that's coming out from establishment media sites and organizations that really support Biden and his administration, there was a lot he knew and he just kind of ignored it.
The Biden administration defending their handling of the Afghanistan withdrawal, just one day after President Biden admitted the Taliban's takeover happened faster than anticipated. But a U.S. intelligence official telling ABC News leaders were told by the military it would take no time at all for the Taliban to take everything.
Well, no time at all? Well, it didn't take any time. They didn't even fire a shot. There are people over there that helped us who are struggling, trying to figure out what to do, struggling in ways that we as human beings here can't even fathom. The sheer terror of thinking to yourself, this is what's coming. I mean, all jokes aside, they can pretend they're kinder. We're kinder. We're a simpler group now. And they've done for them, they've done a bang-up job. Got like a whole new staff of people that are working here. Think you guys are going to find that? They're going to start running commercials soon of how nice they are. Look at us. We're on a bouncy. Oh, over here, we're lifting weights. Like we're getting our swole. But the reality is they're waiting for what? Because if you go and you see some of the stuff they've left in their path on their way to Kandahar and Kabul, you will find out that they have crushed a lot of people. I was watching one woman yesterday, and I could just read the subtitles because I was doing my other show, and her mom refused to feed the Taliban soldiers that were there. Because she's like, I don't have any money and we don't really have any food. And there's 15 of you. And so they did what any normal, rational people would do. They beat her to death. Yeah. Within 48 hours, there are no women on the streets virtually. No women on the streets. Now, I know they're going to be nicer. They're promising.
What assurances can you give to women and girls that their rights will be protected?
Women will be afforded all their rights, whether it is in work or other activities, because women are a key part of society. And we are guaranteeing all their rights within the limits of Islam.
Always read the fine print or listen to it. Within the limits of Islam. What exactly does that mean? I mean, could you break it down for us? Does that mean that if women want to go to school, they want to hold jobs, they want to be seen as an equal, you're totally cool with that? They don't want to wear the hijab, they don't want to wear the burqa, they don't want to wear all of the stuff? They want to do it a little bit more modern their way, maybe a scarf? Are you good with that?
If they have concerns, we would like to assure them that there's not going to be any discrimination against women, but of course within the frameworks that we have. Our women are Muslim. They will also be happy to be living within our frameworks of Sharia.
So let's talk about that, Sharia. I'm going to break that down for you, what it means potentially, comparatively to what it was 20 plus years ago. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from all of you. We're going to touch on that in a second. MyPillow has towels, Giza Dream Sheets, has the MyPillow, has mattress toppers, all at deep discounts. And right now you can take advantage of them all. 6-piece towel set, $40, normally $110. Giza Dream Sheets on sale, big time. The best sheets you'll ever sleep in. Ever. You get a 6-day money-back guarantee. You are going to love, love, love these things. The towels, super absorbent, non-lotiony. They soak up the water without a weird feel. You get 2 giant towels. You get 2 hand towels. And you get a 2-pack washcloth. On top of that, these amazing Giza Dream Sheets. The cotton's grown in a small area of the Mediterranean, right? Which is just awesome. And you feel the difference with these sheets when you slide in. They're breathable. You're going to sleep cooler. But take advantage of these deep discounts across all of the MyPillow site. Go to MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Benson. MyPillow.com. Use that promo code Benson to take advantage of all of this. MyPillow.com. Promo code Benson. Chad Benson Show.
Being antisocial sucks. Hang with Chad's friends on Facebook, The Chad Benson Show. And if you just need some alone time, head on over to Twitter at Chad Benson Show. Either way, we can't wait to meet the real you.
As we was driving in, I saw this one mum with a tiny little baby, and in desperation, she was just in floods of tears, and her husband is clutching, a little plastic folder with the papers that he's got to show that he has worked with the Americans. He's one of the people who should be on the plane, but he can't get past the Taliban. And there are thousands of people down there like that.
Yeah. The Taliban's not letting anybody go anywhere. Well, I thought they were the kinder, gentler Taliban. No. They're still the Taliban. And listen to what they say. Within the parameters of Islam and Sharia, yeah, you guys got nothing to worry about. So you've got 2 things here to look at when it comes to Afghanistan and the Taliban, how we pulled out, hot mess. We get it. Look, that's all you, Biden, on that one. The rest of the world saying the same thing. This is a you thing. The way you did it was absolutely ridiculous. Doesn't mean it would be perfect. Trump talked about, the Taliban will be great. They go in there and they kill all the terrorists. And that's where everybody leaves it. But if you go on, he said, and if it gets hot again, it gets nasty, then we'll go back in there. Could we have done things differently? Yes, 100%. But the continual pointing fingers and just this lack of, for somebody who's supposed to be so empathetic, watching what's happening over there and realizing what's coming and seeing people. Like I said yesterday, people are falling off airplanes. They didn't get into the airplane. They fell off the airplane. And somebody's like, oh, Chad, that's kind of a normal thing. Where does that happen? Please. And I'm not talking about that guy from Africa who continued to try to sneak into things, right? You find one of the 2. I'm talking about where's this happen? Like on that kind of level. We'll wait your answer at Chad Benson Show. So Sharia law. So you've got the people that have helped. They're going through hell because they know the retribution that's coming. Then you have women. So Sharia law. What can they expect in theory? So the religion established in Arabia by Muhammad. He died in the year 632. And they decided this is as far as we need to go with technology. Let's live like this. So you go and look, and again, it's all about the interpretation, right? So, and if the men are the ones with the power, they can interpret it how they like, and the women are subservient, obedient, and terrified, being the biggest of words there. Here's something for you. So you got Qawaman, which in relations to women, I may have said that wrong. They talk about this thing being interpreted, means protector and maintainers. But it's also understood by some to connote the superiority of men over women. The verse goes on to say that devout women are obedient, and if they persistently disobey their male protectors, as a last resort, strike and beat them. Ooh, sounds like fun. Legal and financial rights were there as far as inheritance, but the Quran specifies that sister should get less than brother. And part of the reasons they say, well, brother ends up being the one who's going to be the maintainer of everything, so they should get more, where in theory, sister should have a husband that will help her. Okay. Their testimony's worth half of that of a man. If there are not two men available, then bring a man and two women whom you accept as witnesses. Now, these are just going through like the legalese side of it. The reality is they maintain it through force and brutality and fear. I'm sure there's nowhere there it says in the Quran, and oh yeah, by the way, this is the verse where you say you can't fly a kite or see a movie or watch television or get your hair did, or like it's how they interpret it, and they interpret it in a way that allows them to not only be superior, but essentially treat them like property. And that's the fear that this kinder, gentler Taliban is going to go back to being what everybody expected. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
In Israel, I saw a survey earlier surveying about 4,500 people, and they said that they had received similar or less severe side effects from the third shot, from the booster. And so that is good news. It does make sense in terms of your immune system if you already have some antibodies.
So if you've got some antibodies and you get a third boost, why are we getting a third booster, Chad? I just joined the program. Oh, sorry. You weren't here for that. Okay. So you know what happened. So all of a sudden it was a mess and craziness and chaos. And like 2 weeks ago, they're like, you don't need a third booster. That was Fauci. And they were talking about stuff. We're going to see how it plays out. Well, look, then craziness in Afghanistan. And lo and behold, today.
The Biden administration's COVID-19 response team today announcing Americans will need a booster shot of a COVID-19 vaccine to maximize protection and prolong the durability of the vaccine. In a statement, the COVID response team says the available data, quote, make very clear that protection against infection begins to decrease over time following the initial doses of vaccination. The administration says it's prepared to offer booster shots for all Americans. That shot should come 8 months after an individual's second dose. This announcement applies to the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines.
Okay, so what did Jimmy Kim, would Fallon say? Operation change the subject. It's about right. I'm not saying you don't need a third, because first of all, it's not a booster. It's a flu shot, but for the communist flu. That's what they should call it. It's the communist flu shot. CFS. I need a CFS shot. Oh, the communist flu shot. Let me get one of those. All right, fantastic. This protect me from all variants of the red communist flu? Yes, it will. Are you sure? How dare you say that, Chad? That's racist. No, communism is not a race. So somebody said to me the other day, Chad, you're saying that. That is a racist thing to say. I picture all these things in my mind of what these people sound like. They're yelling at me. It's a racist thing to say. I'm like, communism is not a race, people. It's not. So you're going to have to get a third booster shot, potentially. And I say that because I think some doctors are going to go, I don't know if you really need it yet. And a lot of it depends on your age. And obviously, like the situation that you're in. If you have a compromised immune system, then you do everything you can, no matter what it is. Even before COVID-19 showed up on the scene, You did everything you could during flu season to protect yourself in every way, shape, or form. So you go and do that. If you're elderly, you may need a booster or another round or whatever it is, because the reality is this thing will eventually wear off faster than for you than others, because as you get older, your immune system doesn't work as good. So it's about just understanding, okay, who's getting it and why? And that's the question. So we should be asking more questions. We should be asking to see more things from the government.
We want to see evidence that over the past month, more vaccinated people have been spreading this, not because that's a good thing, but because that justifies the need to get these booster shots.
Oh, see, well, yeah, don't you want justifications? Like, why am I getting this again? Because it's going to protect you. No. Is that really why we're getting this again? And protect me or protect somebody else? That's the other side of things. Are you worried about me? Because I've masked up and I've gotten both my shots and I caught the damn thing and I don't even go anywhere. So what exactly are you worried about here? I'm asking the question because I have a feeling most of the people that are going to be getting this have already gotten the first one. And I don't think you're going to get as many people taking a third shot. Because I think there's a lot of people out there who are looking around saying, I don't want to be in a position where, once again, I'm having to wear my damn mask and do all of this other stuff, from social distancing to all of this other crap. And there are other people out there who are like, I don't worry about it. I want to live my life. And you shouldn't worry about them either. But they could spread it. They could spread it. What about your kids? My kids already caught the damn thing. I don't know what else to say at this point in time. And do I think the mask for children under 12 is the end-all to be-all? It will probably help somewhat. But a lot of it goes back to, what kind of mask do they have? Are they going to be touching their eyes? Well, they're kids. Of course they are. Are they going to wear the mask properly? They're kids. Of course they're not. Are they going to pick their nose and punch their friends and stay away from each other? Well, of course they're not. Okay. Is the teacher going to have to fight all day to make sure that they keep their mask on properly? Yes, that'll be part of it. Oh, okay, again. Frustrating. It is. And I want more data, and I think we should demand it. And you should ask serious questions to your doctor and your healthcare provider. Is this because it's really needed? Like, you tell me, like a flu shot, you got to get once a year. All right. That's a fair thing. But if you tell me I've got to get this every 8 months or 7 months, depending on what the political climate is, based on science that we're not quite sure about, well, then I have a real question about that. And unlike the flu, we stop everything down from this. So are we going to do this every year? Is this the way we're going to live for the next several years? All fair questions at this point in time. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. All that being said, coronavirus, Afghanistan, inflation, immigration, it is not a good look for this president right now. And you look over and you see a few things. And one of the things is that every one of us participate in, and that is the economy.
Clothing stores down 2.6%, and building materials shops, gardening supply stores, those sales there down 1.2%. There is a notable exception. Americans are dining out more now. Those sales up 1.7%. The key question now is, to what extent did the Delta variant, the rise in the Delta variant, cause these additional ripple effects on U.S. consumers, and how much is inflation, those rising prices we see, eating into consumer spending?
Probably a lot at this point in time. Shrinkflation. We're spending more and we're getting less. In this administration, the buck stops with you. Said the same thing with Trump. Look, you're always going to have a crossover effect. I think we can all realize that that's going to happen. Trump was handed a pretty damn good economy. He supercharged it, and then it went to hell. Through no fault of anybody outside of the communist Chinese party, who, the more and more we look at it, it's more and more realization that they weren't as above board as you would think. Super above board. No, So there's real interest in how it started, and maybe one day we'll figure it all out. But the reality is, this is the world we live in, and you right now, Mr. President, and your administration and the Democrats and Republicans, you have a chance to do some stuff here to ease the pains of the Americans. That doesn't include just sending them a check every month, because that doesn't help. Oh, it helps. Yeah, I'm not thinking micro, I'm thinking macro here. So let's ask that question there. Things that we need, more expensive. Things that we want, a little bit more expensive. But groceries are a perfect example. My wife goes to the store. She's like, you can't even believe how expensive some stuff is. It's insane. It is. What are we doing? Fuel. It's the same way. Now, some of that early on was based on the fact that we didn't have enough drivers to transport the fuel from point A to point B, and more people were driving. Last year, more and more people were staying at home, and because of that, a lot of those operators switched to carrying other freight or went out of business altogether because, well, there was no need for their services. A lot of that's changed now. So what are you doing in this situation that you think you can maybe do some stuff to ease some of this? And don't always pass it off as people are suffering and they're feeling the pain as, oh, it's just temporary inflation. For somebody who's supposed to have all this empathy, it's fallen on deaf ears lately. And then, of course, you've got the debacle over there in Afghanistan, and immigration is just an absolute nightmare. It is a nightmare. And it's just isn't coming from, everybody's like, oh, Chad, you just don't like the president. Look, I give all presidents a chance. I'm completely independent. Somebody says, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Both sides get pissed off at me. All I care about is, can you do the job at hand? I expect you not to be perfect, because none of us are. But what I expect you to do is to be somewhat above board, right? A little transparent. And people are calling out Biden from across the globe. It's one of the defense ministers over there in Britain.
In his speech of self-justification after the collapse of Kabul, President Biden reduced a complex military issue to only two stark alternatives: either a massive troop surge on a never-ending basis, or a ruthless, chaotic, and dishonorable departure.
Yeah, that's our choices. That's our choices. Yeah. That's what, no, there were better choices. People are queuing up, as they would say in Britain. One of the things that's being left out is the fact that there's $1 trillion worth of minerals and things that the world needs that they're going to be able to turn around now and profit off of, which will go back into their coffers, that will make them and enrich them. They really want to be on the world stage. One of the reasons they're playing kinder and gentler early on is because they want to be they want legitimacy. They don't want to be warlords and tribes fighting. They want some legitimacy. How do you get that? Well, you know you're not going to get it from a lot of the world, so you go to the part of the world that all seems to hang out with one another. And it's like one of those places where you're like, ugh.
Is China really warming up to the Taliban? And if so, what's in it for Beijing?
Yeah, they certainly are. And I expect that they will. In part, they're doing that because it's a propaganda win after the United States has failed on the ground in Kabul. In part, it's because they don't want a failed state in Afghanistan. They would be concerned about the rise of Islamic fundamentalism and support for Uyghur secessionism, the ETI.
Yeah. There's some worries there. But China thinks about China. They'll tell the Taliban whatever they need. Russia will do whatever it has to. They'll welcome them with open arms. They'll play this game because, as far as they're concerned, opportunities abound here. And any time that you can poke us makes them happy. So we'll see what takes place here. But it's another situation where this administration, and I expect all administrations to have fumbles throughout it. But right now, he's had really 4 carries in the game. One was going well, and then he stepped out of bounds, and that was the coronavirus. Not all his fault, but immigration, he's fumbled. This, he has completely fumbled in Afghanistan, and it looks like he's fumbled the ball when it comes to the economy, and he better get that fumble back. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Raycon, best earbuds around. You will love these things. Top to bottom. So much talk time on these. Seamless Bluetooth pairing, a better sound quality and fit thanks to the 6 gel tips that you get so you find the right fit. You get a 45-day happiness guarantee, tons of colors to choose from, and there's no stems, there's no wires. You will absolutely get this pair of Raycons and think to yourself, wow, what was I doing paying premium prices for something that doesn't sound as good or fit as well? You'll be asking yourself that because I know I did. Get your Raycons now. Save big. They start under $70. Like I say, free shipping, 45-day happiness guarantee, 1-year warranty, no questions asked. They break, you send them back, even if it was your fault. No questions asked. Get a new pair. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. 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 Chad Benson Show.
Welcome to Chad. No, not the country. The institution. The Chad Benson Show.
Let's have some fun with gender on this Woke Wednesday.
Listen to every single thought that comes through your brain, every single one, and believe them. And shame yourself for every negative thought that you have. Dwell on things. Let them fester. Listen to sad songs on repeat. Fight with people on the internet. Look at yourself from low angles. Take your phone and just randomly reverse it and see what you look like while you're scrolling on the phone. That's how people see you. They're always right here underneath you, looking up at you. Not straight on, but here. Don't go after your dreams. They're dreams. And what are dreams but nightmares?
She's my favorite. I love how she's all, let's shame yourself. Listen to sad songs. This is everything she says is how, you know what, I always tell everybody what separates America from everywhere else. In America, you can believe you can have anything. Right? Start from nothing. Start from scratch and build it up. I mean, you can have nothing and then, you know, people overestimate, well, I would say people overestimate where they're going to be in a year and underestimate where they can be in 5 or 10. And that's so true. You can. And I love, love, love that. What she said was very much like what it was like when I was in England for the English. Don't have your dreams, mate. You're going to be a bricklayer. But I want to go to space. That's going to happen. Are you sure? Yeah, positive. I mean, you may get high because sometimes we've got to go to ladder. Like, that's very much what it's like. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. Oh, Chad, give us some more fun. I could do that. You guys ready for a little bit more fun? And it is fun because it's a question we should be asking ourselves. So let's remember Ryan Fisher. He was the dog walker for Lady Gaga.
I've always had to struggle and fight, and that's made me strong. It's made me who I am.
I should be happy now, but I'm not. I'm angrier than ever, and I don't know why.
It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
Pick me up when I die.
So, he fought off, or at least tried to, the thieves that would eventually shoot him, causing him to spend months in a hospital, eventually having to go back to the hospital, have part of his lungs removed. Lady Gaga was filming at the time, freaked out because, of course, somebody stole her precious dogs. And what ended up happening? She offered $500,000. No questions asked. Give me the dogs back. Anything. I'll do anything. This dude's begging for money. right now. He needs to GoFundMe to help him buy a van. He's trying to just process what he went through. He feels abandoned and unsupported. I got to be honest with you. You'd think you would throw a few bucks in, lady. Just asking. You guys have a blessed day. We got you over the hump. Night, Jack.
This is the Chad Benson Show.